Hi guys, it's Amanda, and yes, you're once again sitting in a different spot because last time I could not hold the camera still. So I'm trying something different. You might be able to see the other half of my bookshelves behind me, and yes, they're a mess and I'm sorry. This is going to be my Book-tube-a-thon update number 2, and I'm now getting towards the end of day 6, and I thought I'd just update you. After this, you're going to just have to wait until I do my big final update to see if I complete all the challenges. So when I left you, I believe I said something along the lines of, I am not going to plan out the books I read because I hate assigned reading. About half an hour after I uploaded that video, I realised that although I'd read quite a few books, none of them really aligned with the challenge, and I just started reading yet another book which had nothing to do with the challenge. So I then decided I was going to plan out my reading. I was right. I don't like assigning reading to myself. It didn't work too well, but it has given me some direction in where I'm going. So when I finished that last video, I picked up The Rules of You and Me, and I got about 20% of the way through, and I was really enjoying it, but that's when I realised, wait a minute, it's got nothing to do with any of the challenges. I might have to start looking at what books I can look at which will have something to do with the challenge. So then I decided, I know, I can actually work my way through a series which I've been wanting to finish for a while, because that will knock off a couple of challenges. I will finish a series, I'll reread the first book, and the second book in this trilogy has been sitting on my shelf forever, or as closest to forever as I can probably get. So I decided to pick up Eve. This is a dystopian trilogy, and the last one just came out, so I've been wanting to read this for a while. So this was my reread, and it comes in at something like 318 pages, and I finished this that night, so that made my total for that day quite high. But then it was a case of next day I had to work all day, and I'm talking from like 8:30 till like 7:30, and I thought I might try and read at work because I'm a receptionist, so I spend a lot of time sitting at a desk waiting for the phone to ring. So when I went in, I brought in my e-reader. So I was still in the middle of Rules of You and Me, and I wanted to have it just in case I wanted something lighter and wanted to escape from the trilogy. And I also brought in Once, which is the second book in the Eve trilogy. I got all of like 33 pages read in the first 4 hours of my day of work. Yet, like, I'd start reading and the phone would ring, and then I'd have to stop and then re-find my place, and then the phone would ring yet again. So I didn't get very far on that one. So I had to put it aside, and I read a little bit more of Rules of You and Me because it seems to I can keep my place a lot easier on my ear. But by the end of the day, my total was looking pretty glum. I also was working Friday, so I didn't get to read much on Friday either. So I decided I'd try and finish Once. I knew I had to finish Once. And I got through it, and it was really good, and the ending, well, let's just say something really unexpected happens in this book, and so once you find out, you need to read it, and I managed to get through it. But then when I finished, I didn't want to pick up the next one, so I picked up As You Wish instead. This Eve trilogy is getting me into constant reading slumps, so I keep picking up these light, easy reads which I know I'll get through and enjoy, even if they've got absolutely nothing to do with the challenges. So I read through this one. I love this book. It's really cute, sweet, and really quick. But once I finished this, I realised that there was a short story novella type thing that had been put out. So I decided I'd go and read that as well, and that's Things About Love. And it was interesting, not quite as good as this, so it was kind of a letdown, but it was another book that I managed to get finished. And then after all this, I decided to pick up Rise, which is the final book in the Eve trilogy, and I got about 50 pages in, and it's okay. I'm gonna try and finish this tonight. I've only got another 300 pages or so I'll be able to finish that tonight, hopefully. But after reading 50 pages, I ended up putting this down and I finished off The Secret Garden, so that checks off my classic, so I'm happy about that. So far I'm doing pretty well. In 6 days I finished off 9 books, or 8 books and a novella anyway, so I'm reading more than I would usually, and I've finished off quite a few challenges. Hopefully I'll be able to get through a bit more tomorrow. I'll see you next time. I'll have a new update video after this is all ended, and I'll be able to show you exactly how many pages I've read, what books I got done, and hopefully to that I've finished all the challenges except for the audiobook challenge, which I don't intend on doing. I don't like audiobooks at all, and they seem to take forever, so I don't think I've actually got time to read an audiobook anyway. So that's it from me today. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.